This evening I'm going to be talking about what you can do for chronic tendonitis in your Achilles tendon. Generally it's caused by the plantar fascia in the bottom of your foot being tight and or your calves being very tight. Both will pull on your Achilles tendon, creating the inflammation. So there's a couple of different ways that you can take care of this. Of course, you definitely want to use ice when it's inflamed. But to help with lengthening the plantar fascia on the bottom of your foot, you can use a golf ball. And I like to put it in the freezer so it's good and cold when I go to use it. Just put it on the floor. You can either do this standing to put more pressure on, or you can do it seated. And all you're going to do is roll it over the bottom of your foot with an emphasis on the arch of your foot, especially towards the instep. You'll find that that's where it's going to be bothering you the most likely. You can also roll it up to the balls of your feet and then all around. I just found a spot in between my baby toe and the toe right next to it, but down below it, right below it. So you can just do this all over your entire foot. And then there is also, put the golf ball in my pocket so Dakota doesn't try to steal it. You can also use the Theracane. And what you're going to do, it has several different locations that you can use for trigger point therapy. They refer to them as the different balls. So what I'm going to do is take the cane part and just rest it here at an angle, and then I'm going to take my foot and put it on the smaller ball down towards the bottom and just find a tender spot, and I'm going to hold it there. And by using this technique of trigger point therapy, it's going to lengthen that plantar fascia. And then, of course, you would do this on both feet. Then to do your calves, there's a couple of different ways. In fact, I would actually do both, utilizing the foam roller. I like the black one because it's just about the firmest you can get. Just below, using the grid, which has a little bumpy nodules that get down a little bit deeper than the foam roller. And then there's a rumble roller, which is really kind of vicious. It's got really hard, larger nodules to get down in there. So what I would do with the Theracane to get the calf, I'd be down on the floor, and I'm going to take the cane like this, put it in the side of my calf, and just gently lean into it. You don't have to lean very hard into it. You'll find a tender spot, and you're just going to hang out there. And you're going to stay there for about 30 seconds to a minute, maybe 20 or 30 seconds, depending on how long you can stand it. And just move it around a little bit till you find another spot. And what you'll find, because what you're doing is you're hitting knots that are tightening up the muscle, so that's what's pulling on your Achilles tendon. You'll actually feel when the knot releases, it's kind of fun because you can actually feel the muscle kind of unwinding. It's kind of unique. You don't want to actually go onto any bone, so just be careful where you're putting this. Okay, and then you can also do the outside. I'm just putting the ball into the side of my calf and pulling it. And then if you want to use the foam roller for your calf, just put it on the floor, put your calf on top of it. You can either be on the side or the back of your calf. If you're on the side, cross it over. If you need a little more pressure, you can lift yourself up, keep that belly button pulled in, and now you're not only releasing the knots in your calf, but you're working your abs and you're working your upper body because you're holding yourself up off the floor. So you're getting a great workout here. And you can just roll back and forth a little bit, pull those abs in and pull your butt back just a little bit, and you're really engaging those abs even more. Then you would want to switch sides. Here again, it might be that you don't need to add any more pressure, so you just sit there. And then you can come down a little bit farther. You can also move it up a little bit closer to your knee, so you're almost like right behind the knee. Put your leg off to the, turn your foot off to the diagonal, so you hit the outside of your leg or the outside of your calf. You can turn it in. So those are a couple of techniques for helping to loosen up the calves and break up the knots. And then there's some stretches that you'll want to do as well. One of the stretches, you're actually just going to take a little bit of a staggered stance. So if you're stretching your right calf and your right Achilles tendon, then your left foot is forward, of course, and you're bending your right knee, pushing your weight back into your right heel. So you're more in an upright position, and you'll feel a really good stretch in your lower calf down into your ankle. And then you would want to switch sides and do it on the other side. These would be stretches. The foam rolling and the trigger point therapy you want to do before and after running or walking or whatever your cardio exercise is. That's usually what's going to start the inflammation in your Achilles because of the impact or just the motion, and those are the muscles that you're working. The foam rolling and the trigger point therapy you can do before and after your exercise. This particular stretch or any kind of static stretches should be done after your exercise. The only kind of stretching that you should be doing prior to are dynamic stretches. Because what you're doing if you're doing static stretches is you're lengthening the muscle and you're weakening it, and that in a lot of cases will set you up for injury. So an idea of what a dynamic stretch would be, a way of really warming up your shins, which can also lead to calf tightness and shin splints, of course, is just tap your foot and go in and out. Just kind of an active little stretch, warming up the shins, other side, in and out. Maybe do some calf raises. This is also going to help strengthen your calves. Turn your toes in. My feet were straight the first time. Turn your toes in. Turn your toes out. It hits all aspects of your calves. So that would be good for stretching. And then, of course, another one that's really good will actually come all the way up into your hamstrings. And this is post-exercise. This is after your walk, after your run, whatever it is you have to be doing. Put your foot out in front of you. Go straight out from your hip. You're on your heel. Sit it back. And you should feel this stretch all the way up into your hamstring. To get an even deeper stretch, reach down and grab those toes. And you'll feel this all the way down into your calf. I hope that helps. Talk to you soon.